So welcome back to the LionEyes.tv podcast. We're in episode 9. So excited to have you guys. And this week we're going to talk about top 10 teams in the NFL, some picks for next week, but really dive deep into the NBA. So let's begin with the top 10 teams in the NFL heading into week 9. So do you want to start us off?
Yeah, actually, my 1 and 2 changed for the first time this whole year. So at number one, I got the Eagles. They're definitely the best team in the league. I mean, 49ers have lost 2 straight. Dolphins have, they lost a couple of games. I got Eagles at 1. I have the Chiefs at 2. They've been playing really well. I have the 49ers at 3. The Dolphins at 4. The Jaguars at 5. They've won 3 in a row. Or maybe 4. I don't even know. But I know they beat the Bills, beat the Falcons back-to-back weeks in London, and then they won last week. I forget against who, but
they beat the Saints on Thursday night.
Right. Oh, yeah. And yeah, so they've been playing good football. Number 6, I have the Bengals. Hopefully, I actually really want to see the Bengals beat the 49ers this week. I think if they beat the 49ers, then I think I'll confidently say, the Bengals are 100% back. Number 7, I have the Lions. That was a disgusting loss, but I still think that they're a solid team. I think it was just a bad game. I mean, they were probably all pumped coming into that, playing in Baltimore. You're playing a former MVP. Lamar played great, so there's not really much you could do there. I have the Cowboys at 8. I have the Ravens at 9. And then I have the Bills at 10.
Okay. I mean, our lists they're a little different, but not that much different. I'd say my number 1 team is going to rock with KC Chiefs. I think they're going to be the number 1 team this whole time. Number 2, I got the 49ers. They had a tough couple weeks. I mean, Brock got a concussion in that game, and that was part of the reason why he looked so bad in the second half. But they just need to be healthy for the playoffs, especially because in the last couple of years they haven't been healthy for that playoff run.
Don't discredit the Vikings, though. Vikings played a tough game against the 49ers.
No, they did. The Vikings did play well. Next up at number 3, we got the Eagles. Like we've been saying, they're one of the best, most talented teams on both sides of football, dominate the line of scrimmage. Number 4, I got the Ravens. They've been playing great. Lamar Jackson's been playing really, really well. So, I mean, yeah, they just can't stop winning. So Ravens at 4. Number 5, I got the Lions, who just got blown out by the Ravens. So I feel like it would be a little weird to have the Ravens above them after that game. But Lions are still playing well. It was a bad week. They'll recover. Next up, I got the Bengals at 6. I think the Bengals are coming off this bye week. They're going to be healthy, going to be playing well. And let's see what they do against the 49ers. And the 49ers are a little banged up, so I could see the Bengals winning this one. Next up at 7, we got the Dolphins. I just think they're too reliant on that offense. Their defense isn't that good. Their offensive line can't protect the quarterback at times against really good teams. So they just don't have enough to compete against the top tier teams in the league. Next up, we got the Jaguars at 8. The Jaguars are a team that's bound to move up on this list really quickly. They've been playing really well, but you'll see my picks of the week. We'll see what happens with them. Number 9, I got the Cowboys. I feel like at this point we know who they are. They're really, really good at defense. Michael Parsons in that defense is super dominant, but when it comes time when they need Dak Prescott to step up, too many times he folds under pressure. So that's why I got the Cowboys at 9 and Buffalo at 10. I mean, we've been saying this about Buffalo since the start of this podcast, that watch out, they're not the team that everyone thinks they are, and they've been proving us right. Buffalo at 10. So
I thought the Bills were going to be a lot better than they played. Ravens at 4 is extremely high. I think the Ravens are the most up and down team. I mean, the Ravens and the Bills are the 2 most up and down teams in the whole NFL.
The Ravens has been playing more consistent, and Lamar Jackson is just playing so well. When he's playing like this, it's so hard to stop him. So
I don't know, dude. I mean you see one thing one week, and then you lose to the Steelers, and then you blow out the Lions.
The Steelers is a tough division matchup.
Down.
Yeah. But over the course of the season, I think the Ravens are going to be a really good team. So, and a lot of these teams on top of my list, they all have premier quarterbacks. So that's how important those guys are to winning football games. So let's move on to the picks for next week. Last week I went 1 for 3. It was a tough week, but I mean the Falcons +2 hit. Washington -2 on the Giants didn't hit, and then Lions +3 against the Ravens was a big, big miss. But hopefully this week's a little different.
Yeah, I forget my picks from last week, but I don't remember anything cashing. You want to start with me?
I guess I'll start. This week, I guess this week's pick theme for me is home underdogs. All three of mine are home underdogs. So first up, we got Pittsburgh +2.5 against the Jaguars. Just Pittsburgh as home underdogs under Mike Tomlin. They just seem to always win, always cover. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm taking it. Also, Jags just won 3 in a row. Pittsburgh got a tough defense. Might give Trevor Lawrence some problems. So we'll see what happens. Pitt +2.5. Next, I got the Colts +1 versus the Saints. Again, Colts at home, giving up points. Colts have been playing some really good football recently. Really surprising football, especially when everyone counted them out in the beginning of the year. Gardner Minshew stepped into Anthony Richardson's place and playing pretty well. So I really like what Shane Steichen's doing over there. I could see the Colts covering and even winning this one at home against the Saints because the Saints aren't really that good of a team. And then lastly, I got the Titans +2.5 against the Falcons at home. Mike Vrabel is a great coach. They're coming off the bye, and Mike Vrabel, good coaching off the bye at home. This is a recipe for a win, and you're giving up points +2.5. I think it's an easy one. Titans.
Yeah, I have that same one. The rest are different. I'm kind of surprised that she didn't have one game on here, but it's besides the fact. I have Titans +2.5 versus the Falcons. Yeah, I agree. Titans at home. Falcons, I mean, they're struggling a little bit. Desmond Ritter is still, a young quarterback. I think that Derrick Henry is going to run all over them. Yeah, so Titans +2.5 versus the Falcons. I have the Giants +3 versus the Jets. We got Tyrod Taylor starting again. Listen, I don't know. That man is a problem. Tyrod Taylor is a problem. So I think that the Giants can win this game. I, in fact, think that they will win this game. But we'll see come Sunday. And then number 3, my third pick, I have the Vikings -1.5 versus the Packers. I think that the Vikings are playing better football. Jordan Addison is slowly becoming, I won't say a premier wide receiver in the league, but I mean, he's proven himself for sure. That was a big week he had last week against the 49ers. And I think that the Vikings really need to see that so they could trust him moving forward. I think that they should win this game.
Okay, I like your picks. I feel like hopefully we got some good weeks because we've been kind of cold on the start of this. So we'll see what happens. But moving on to basketball, and I guess we're gonna start off with the Knicks, who faced off against the Celtics. They lost 108 to 104. But instead of diving deep into the game, we're gonna ask some questions about the Knicks, Boston, about some NBA topics. So first off, did the Knicks improve after watching that game? Did you think that the Knicks improved over the offseason?
I mean, they look like the same old Knicks to me, just jack up a ton of shots. I feel like it's just really stagnant. Like, you guys are just stagnant, man.
It's like
you give somebody the ball, whoever has the hot hand, you just guess whoever's going to have the hot hand one night, and that's who you're riding the rest of the game. And against the Celtics, it was like R.J. Barrett. But that's not going to be sustainable, just handing R.J. Barrett the ball. Like, your stars need to play well. Brunson needs to play well. Randall needs to play well.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one game. And, like, Brunson, he had a lot of open looks that he just didn't fall. Like, a lot of shots were just short, and he'll hit those going forward. But in the first quarter, like, the Knicks didn't shoot a single three till, like, the 5-minute mark. It was just too much Randall, Brunson passing in isolation. And once that second unit came in, then, like, things started to flow. But, like you said, like, I mean, our only real move this offseason was getting Dante DiVincenzo. It's the same old team. The offense looks completely the same. And it just, like, I mean, our ceiling is the same too. 4 seed, second round exit. And it's just like we got even like just like there's no offensive innovation either. Like, you got Quentin Grimes, a really good 3-point shooter. Like, you don't see him coming off no pin down screens. You don't see him, like, they don't run plays to get him open looks on the 3-point line. It's just a lot of isolation. And this is just like this is like the same old Knicks that I saw last year, like where they keep it close, play tough. Maybe they get a lead in the fourth quarter, but they can't pull it out against these better teams. And it's just like, if we want to take the next step, we got to make a move. And that's just a whole
Yeah.
that's a conversation for another time. But that's the only way the Knicks are really gonna get better than what they are, because they're a good team. Don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but they're not they're not taking that next step.
Dude, I can honestly I can see you guys really just digressing this year. Like the same thing with the Kings. Like we talked about it, like I talked about it last pod. The Kings made no moves. In today's game of the NBA, you have to be active in the offseason. You have to be adding pieces, letting go of players. The Kings didn't make any moves in the offseason. The Knicks made one move in the offseason. You guys, you just can't improve if you're not like, I don't know, dude. You guys are the same team as last year, same team as the year before that.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Brunson.
Yeah. I mean, like with the Knicks too, it just with that how they didn't improve. It's like like you said, the same old team. Like until something changes, like it's gonna
And
be
I also
the
feel like
same.
I feel like the Knicks need a new coach.
I feel like the roster hits its ceiling with Thibodeau. Like it does. It gets to a point where like the Knicks aren't gonna improve after a certain point. Like players aren't developing. I mean, they have developed, but I'm saying like offensive innovation, like he maxed out what he has with the roster. You know, we need to like find ways to take steps
Yeah.
forward. And like moving on to like teams who did take steps forward, who did make moves. Like just look at Boston. Look how dynamic Kristaps Porzingis made their team in just one game. Like
Yeah. That was a huge addition, dude. Huge addition. Zingard, because that's what he looked like against the Knicks.
it was a revenge game.
Porzingis was frying that. And I can see him like obviously he's not going to be scoring 30 every night, but I can see he's going to be 22 points per game. 22 points per game. I don't know how many rebounds he had or anything like that. I don't know but I think he shot well from the field.
He had a couple blocks too.
And yeah, Celtics played defense too.
Yeah, I mean with KP, it just like it changes their whole offense. Like I mean, they had Al Horford in there before as like their stretch five, but he's nowhere near dynamic as KP. You know, like KP was out there forcing Mitchell Robinson, forcing Isaiah Hartenstein out on the 3-point line, and then just opening up the paint for everyone else. And if you don't guard
Yeah.
KP, he's gonna hit the three. And
You guys are lacking. I mean, the Knicks are lacking a dynamic big too.
yeah, like we got a good duo with like
Definitely need
Mitch
that.
and Ihart. Like they're good centers, but they're not like Mitch is just an interior rebounder, and Ihart just a well-rounded center. Like they're not doing anything crazy, you know. But with Boston, like
Right.
adding KP too, and with that defense, their defense was like clamping up the Knicks, especially in that first quarter. And if they find their defensive identity, like the one under Ime Udoka, the one that got them to the finals, where they focus on defense throughout the season and make that their identity rather than just chucking up threes on offense. Focus on that defense because that defense will be there no matter what, and that offense will come and go because they just have so much talent on that side of the ball. They don't even have to worry about it. Just focus on that defense.
What moves would you have like to see over the offseason or after that first game? Just very early observations. What do you think the Knicks may need to do?
I mean, firstly, one of the things that like upsets me about the Knicks was that we didn't even draft somebody. So that's just like I don't know why, just kind of so annoying. But like I like to have at least one guy we drafted. But in terms of making moves, like I know Embiid isn't available yet, and I know like there's rumors about Cat, and I get like we can't. The only move that we really could have made this offseason was DiVincenzo. We didn't have a lot of cap space, and like we weren't going to trade for Dame, but we have to start like planning out trading for like the next superstar on the market, and that's gonna
Yeah.
be Embiid, I think. And like Karl Anthony Towns, please don't trade for him. he's not a winning player. He's not a winning center. At least like Embiid
Yeah,
is a
he's kind of whack.
he doesn't play defense. Like he's not a dog. He's gonna get bullied in New York.
Yeah.
Like Embiid's a dog. Like Embiid with Jalen
Yeah.
Brunson would be really good duo. So
That would be dirty, dude. And you guys desperately need like Julius Randle to take a, a step back, please, because I can't stand watching him shoot 0 for like 8 in the first quarter. I can't
it's just
stand
like
it.
at this point he is who he is. Like there's no changing him. And I feel like that I guess the Knicks are banking on like quickly or like RJ Barrett to like keep making like the improvement level and keep like taking the
Knicks need
leap.
to pay quickly. He kept you guys in the game.
Bro, I don't know why we didn't, bro. Like like I really
Yeah,
don't
he
get
needs to
it
get paid. He needs to get paid big time.
because he's a keeper. I like him even better than RJ offensively. Like
Thank you. I would give quickly a contract quicker than I would give RJ Barrett a contract.
I would give Grimes a contract quicker than I give either of those two a contract. Grimes is
Grimes made some big plays too.
he's the best
he can
one.
Shoot, dude.
He's the best. That's what I'm saying. Like
Strap.
you gotta find him shots. Like he only took like 7, 8 shots. He got to shoot 6 to 8 threes per game. Like
He can put the ball on the floor a little bit too.
yeah, like he was like a 5-star recruit out of high school who like had a shaky college career, had to transfer, but like when he went to Houston, he was a little older, but he was playing really,
Yeah,
really good basketball.
he's definitely matured into like a solid basketball
He's
player.
a great
Does he
defender
start or
too.
no?
Yeah, he's our starter.
He starts? Yeah, that's good.
And sometimes he closes.
He should.
He closes games at times. Like he came in for
You
RJ.
guys need the shooting, so that's good.
Yeah.
You guys need the shooting.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta find looks for him, and so just it's kind of
And yeah, dude. RJ Barrett is, man, like, yeah, I saw this one clip on Twitter. It was like a Knicks fan page. Like the caption was, like it was like a nice move or something. The move was just like him doing like a little like back, not, what's the, I don't even know what the move is called, but he did like, dude, what is the move when you like just take a step back? A step back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a step back and he made the shot and like Knicks fans were gassed over that.
Bro,
I thought it was so hilarious.
Drew, like RJ got no shiftiness. He got no kind of no bag.
He has
yeah,
no,
he got no
bag,
bag.
bro.
But
No bag.
it was mad funny. I was like I saw this one interview with his trainer Drew Hanlon talking about like what he was doing with RJ this offseason. He's like, a couple offseasons ago we were focused on shiftiness. That didn't really work. So now we're focused on like just like shooting and like just getting to the rim and all this whatever, like all this other stuff.
He's a disaster, dude. He belongs on the Raptors. Like I feel like
he does. He looks like a
no,
Raptors
I'm so
player.
serious. Yeah, he does. He would like. I mean, and he's Canadian, so it works
Yeah.
out perfectly.
Like just like a guy who like does everything but does nothing at the same time. Like good at everything but not great.
Unpopular opinion. OG Anunoby is better than RJ Barrett.
I mean, OG's a great defender. You know, like RJ Barrett gets a little shaky.
Great
on that end.
defender, and he's improved. He's improved his points per game like every year. He
Better
can
shooter,
shoot the
too.
ball a little bit too.
Yeah, he's a better shooter.
Yeah.
All right, I feel like it's time to move on to let's talk about the Mavs a little bit. We talked about Wemby already, but you know, Wemby looked good against the Mavs, but I mean, I guess we have to kind of talk about Wemby like just a little bit. Like he's just gonna be so good so quickly. So it's just like just insane.
Yeah, if he can stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, yeah, but like when he plays, his impact is just like he's just like such a difference maker just by being out
Yeah,
there.
he was definitely effective.
Yeah,
He also had 5 turnovers though.
yeah, he's gonna be shaky. He's gonna miss a lot of shots. You know, like he's young, but
Yeah.
he's gonna have moments of brilliance, and he definitely showed that off already. But
No,
with
he's an impactful player for sure.
but with the Mavs and Luka and Kyrie, like I like what they did this offseason by adding Grant Williams. I like the draft Derek Lively, who already had a big impact, and I think the Mavs are gonna be pretty good this year. Like they're gonna compete for the playoffs and be a pretty good team.
A lot of people were like skeptical of Derek Lively just because like of his like size, not necessarily his height, but He looked good though. He looked good. I thought, yeah, I agree. I thought Grant Williams was a really good signing. Luka is in midseason form. The man is an MVP. Like he's
Yeah,
actually going to make a real push for MVP.
he looks skinny in the beginning of the year, which is good because like he's been
Yeah,
coming into like the year a little out of shape, so he looks like he's in shape. Maybe FIBA this summer helped him with that. So,
yeah,
but like Kyrie's just
yeah.
gonna
He looks excited for the season.
yeah like him and Kyrie. I feel like it's gonna be a good duo. Like Kyrie could play off the ball a little bit. They're take
Yeah,
turns
but
when
I mean,
Luka's
he
out the game.
struggled. He struggled.
Yeah.
Kyrie struggled, but he came through towards the end of the game. He made some good passes too.
I think they're going to be like limited because they don't really have a great roster. But like we saw what Luca did in the bubble against the Clippers. Like the guy could carry his team just by himself. So once they get in that playoff push, it's going to be a tough team to get out. But yeah, I think they're definitely going to be a playoff team this year in the West. And that means someone from the West
Yeah,
who was a playoff team last year is getting kicked off. So who's that? We'll see.
I think it was I think it's the Kings
Could be the Kings.
or the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves did not look good and
Yeah.
shot like 8 for 30, and they lost to the Raptors.
Yeah. Next up,
But I don't know. Yeah,
let's move on to the Lakers. I personally, I'm just like AD, man. Like he's just so disappointing. Like you expect him to carry the torch from LeBron, and he just doesn't. Like I really like the moves that the Lakers made in the offseason. I think Gabe Vincent is gonna be a very very good piece for them, especially like late. He's a good defender, good shooter. He's gonna play great with LeBron, but the Lakers are at their best when Anthony Davis is at his best. They need Anthony Davis. He's the engine of that team. He is the best player of that team. And when he doesn't play like it, 0 points in like the second half, like you're gonna lose. And like this is just a story of what's gonna happen in the playoffs if these teams face each other because Jokic is just so much better than AD. Jokic is the best player on the planet. Like
that's what I was gonna say. Like I understand, like you need AD to really play better, and he had 0 points in that second half. But I have it written down, dude. Like at this point, he's playing the Nuggets. Like Jokic is head and shoulders better than Anthony Davis.
yeah,
I mean, I can't see them beating them in the playoffs. I can't see them being a better team during the regular season. The Lakers, like, I don't know. This is very early observations, of course, but the Lakers, again, much like the Knicks, like they're the same team as last year. Honestly, like
I mean
stagnant on offense. They're really bad in transition, and they let up a ton of threes, like ton of open threes.
I think like the second half Lakers are gonna be like the Lakers that we see for the whole year this year. But like in general, they're gonna be a good playoff team, a good team in the West. But when it comes down to it, I LeBron is like 40 years old, and AD it isn't doesn't have it in him to carry the Lakers through a course of a playoff run. Like they're gonna have to go through the Warriors, they're gonna have to go through the Suns, they're gonna have to go through the Clippers, the Nuggets, at least two of those teams. And after playing
I
them
think
and making it out, I don't think they're gonna be able to make it out after that battle.
AD definitely still has the mindset of, oh, LeBron's on my team, like he's just gonna carry me. Like I don't have to go off, like because LeBron James is gonna be there, and that's what happened against the Suns, like last night. They almost lost to like Kevin Durant and the B team. Like they were
Yeah,
playing a Suns team. That was like Jimmy Butler, um, when he was on Minnesota in practice and he was playing against the starters with the backups. Like that's what that was, and they almost lost.
yeah. I mean, and like I guess we can move on to talk about the Suns. Like, look how Devin Booker like is carrying the torch from KD. You know, like Devin Booker steps up and is dropping 30 like when he needs to. And
Yeah, they complement each other really well. Like they complement each other, like how LeBron and like Anthony Davis complemented each other, like that 2020 COVID season.
yeah, I want to see like what happens too when Bradley Beal gets into that lineup. But I like the like I was a little skeptical at first of like the Suns' depth, but they were able to add some good pieces. Like Drew Eubanks is a pretty good backup center. Josh Okogie is still playing well, and
Yeah,
they have some depth that's good enough for them to
Grayson
compete.
Allen starts for them, which is
Yeah,
did he even play? Did he play
I think he played, but
against the Lakers?
I don't think it. Nah, I think he played against the Lakers, but I know Buck and KD didn't play against the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
he
no,
played 35 minutes, 6 points, six rebounds, 4 assists.
yeah,
And he has the burner too, so he could shoot whenever he gets open.
yeah, and then I guess another team we could talk about was the Bucks game last night. Dame Lillard, man, is gonna be insane for
Yeah.
the Bucks. That's why I had the Bucks ranked so high in the preseason. I think Damian Lillard is built for the playoffs. Like he just never had the team to support him, and now he does. And now he has a co-star in Giannis, like 1A, 1B. Like it's like a legit dynamic duo. Like Giannis does everything in the paint. Damian Lillard does everything on the perimeter offensively, and it's just gonna be like actually scary at times. Like look how he just dominated the clutch last night. That's just gonna be Dame. That's just who he is.
Man, I'm rooting for them. Like I actually want to see the Bucks make it back to the finals. Like I
I,
think if there's a team out of the Eastern Conference, it's probably like I want to see the Bucks make
I
it back there.
Yeah, like a Dame ring. Like no one's gonna be upset if Dame gets a ring. Like he deserves one at this point.
No, yeah, it would be pretty cool. But he needs to like I want to see him average like 30 a game this year. I mean, he does
Yeah,
it effortlessly every season. I felt like in the first half, though, he still got his. Like, I'm pretty sure he had like 20 in the first half, but it didn't even seem like he was really getting after it. Like, it
yeah,
felt like he was being passive and he was just like trying to get looks for other people.
yeah. It's
But I
like
mean, he finished the game with 40.
he's only been in Milwaukee for like a month. Like he's like gonna learn team chemistry, learn the offense, learn how to play with Giannis. And by the end of the
Yeah.
season, they're gonna be playing really really well. And
Yeah. I think oftentimes I forget like how many games it takes in the NBA for like everybody to get acclimated into their team.
yeah, I feel like once we get to like 25 games in, then we really start to see like who these teams are. And then after the All-Star
Right.
break too, like after the trade deadline, after the All-Star break, then like the first couple games in there, then you really see again who these teams are heading into the playoffs. But
Yeah.
another team that I think is going to take a step back this year is I think the Warriors are going to take a step back. I still think they're talented. It's still Steph Curry, and I'm not going to doubt Steph Curry. But I just think Klay Thompson is getting older and is going to keep struggling shooting. Draymond Green is getting older. CP3 is already old as hell. So, like, they don't have a lot of depth outside those guys. They were trying to do this thing where they were rebuilding and competing at the same time. And honestly, that little experiment with James Wiseman and those young guys really didn't work out. So, I think they're going to be a good team, but I don't think they're going to be a great team. And their core that took them to the championship, I think it's time. They're too old now, except for Steph Curry. Except for Steph Curry.
Do you think that they should have like? Do you think that it was smart to trade Jordan Poole?
I think that's a tough one.
Like, what was the point in that?
I think you had to because of team chemistry.
Why?
Like you had to choose between
Okay, but
Draymond or Poole.
realistically though, how many more years are these guys going to be playing together for?
Exactly. It's like,
There already have been trade rumors of Draymond wanting to go to the Lakers or Clay wanting out.
but
Like, you
like
know,
like how you the GM, you can't like tell Steph Curry like, oh yeah, we're gonna trade Draymond. Like Steph Curry's, you know what I mean? Like there's just so much that
no,
goes
but
into.
that's what I'm saying. Don't trade them, but like keep the core and keep Jordan Poole for
They
when they're gone, and then give Jordan Poole the keys.
they couldn't.
Let him and Kuminga and Moses Moody like rock out.
The fight, bro. The fight, it ruined them. It dead ass ruined them. They just like couldn't recover from that. The
Yeah,
locker room
low
was
key.
broken. Like you saw the clips
Low
last year
key,
where
though.
like Jordan Poole was like looking so dread on the bench, like Steph Curry trying to talk to him, he wasn't even looking at him. Like he just was so isolated from that team. He he had to go.
Honestly, like understandably,
I mean, yeah, like Draymond Green punches you in the face. Like Draymond Green
bro
was
got knocked
Like
out.
Draymond was tight because Jordan Poole got his contract instead of him, like that, and then like they started beefing about the money and all this stuff, and like next thing you know, one thing leads to the next. But yeah, I think speaking of Jordan Poole, I think he's gonna do really good in Washington. You know, like the team is his. He's gonna put up a lot of shots. It's gonna be some.
That team sucks.
It's gonna be some ugly nights from Jordan Poole, but it's gonna be some really good nights. He's gonna score a lot of points on that team.
Did you see that preseason game where Jordan Poole did the step back three and then Denny Avich or whatever his last name is? He was tight.
That's gonna happen all season. That's gonna happen all season.
Not
So
for real.
he gotta start getting used to that, Denny. He gotta start getting used to
Yeah.
that. But
He does.
I think it's time to close this one out. It was really great talking to you guys about the NBA, NFL, and make sure you stick by, like, follow, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for next week when we drop another podcast. Thanks for watching.